pass these down. The other, everybody make sure you get one. How do you follow Ernie?
I know.
Carefully. Follow Ernie. I'll tell you, Ernie, where is it? What's that? Oh, yeah, well, you gotta have a little humor and you gotta have fun. If you're enjoying what you're doing, you don't work a day in your life. Couldn't agree with you more, Ernie. What you're talking here is not Lucitarian. It's the people acting that really make a difference. And you can do things without government, with monkey wrenching, with the kind of tactics that this guy dreams up, really have an impact, and that's what we did, and I'll tell you about that in a second. But I gotta tell you, Ernie, there's something appealing about turning the government into trash collectors. And Ernie let you guys off the hook easy, but maybe you'll join me. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. We should always sing. It's the little armed lady from Pasadena. Load, granny, load, granny, load, granny, load. She always smells a little like that Hoppy's cleaner. Load, granny, load, granny, load, granny, load. She's gonna bag a bad guy sooner or later with her 9mm Glock with the compensator. We'll probably do that at the summit, or maybe I ruined that for you.
Trying to drive everybody away.
I circulated a flyer for after you shoot. Your gun's hot, the perp's not. Now what? Well, they're going around. Everybody make sure it's a red flyer so you can get one. This was supposed to come out yesterday, and I was going to bring copies for you guys. The truck won't get here till Monday, so I apologize for that. This is going to change the way the government works. Because right now they have you over a barrel on the self-defense issue. If you call 911, you have a tendency to convict yourself. Very dangerous situation. We have 5 solutions, including a limited immunity statute, so that if you call 911, what you say can't be used against you. The criminal defense attorneys point out that half the convictions in self-defense cases come from the 911 tapes. And there's all kinds of paradoxes built in there, just like Ernie described on collecting trash. The government is doing things you don't see, you didn't realize. 911 is not your friend. Officer Friendly is not your friend. Who's the last person you should talk to after you're involved in something that might get you convicted of murder? I mean, self-defense can get you convicted of murder. Who's the last person to talk to? The state. Who runs the 911 system? The state. Who comes and responds in a police uniform? The state. Who's collecting evidence to convict you? The state. Who runs the courts? The state. Who runs the prosecution office? And who runs the office that your lawyer has to belong to in order to defend you? This is getting kind of boring, isn't it? Well, there should be other answers to that, so that's what that's about. Let me mention Bill of Rights Day before I get started. December 15th is the day the Bill of Rights was ratified back in 1791. For 9 years now in Phoenix and elsewhere around the country, we've been recognizing the Bill of Rights by reading it out loud. It's a marvelous experience. Have any of you been to a previous Bill of Rights Day celebration? Just a few. They're being held all over the country. This year it's at the Wrigley Mansion. And if you've never been there, that's worth going to just on its own.
Where is it?
The Wrigley Mansion. It's listed there. You can Google it. You'll find it. And if you're not on our email list, make sure Ernie has your email, and I'll send it to Ernie, and he'll circulate it around. He'll give me your email if you want. Put it on a scrap of paper, and I'll make sure you're on the list. We read it aloud, and I'll tell you, it's almost like prayer. This document is just amazing, and we need to recognize it, think about it, and then we'll discuss its health. This year we have 2 keynote speakers, as a matter of fact. Gary Johnson, the former governor of New Mexico, who vetoed 700 bills and brought his state's, brought his state's budget into balance, did all sorts of other things, and he's totally on the freedom side, which I would use more than libertarian side because of the negative connotation some people have about libertarians promoting drug-infested prostitutes with no borders. Sorry about that. Lower libertarian, this is good. Freedom more. Actually, drug-infested prostitutes can be fun. Gary Johnson will be there, and so will the chairman of the Cato Institute, Bob Levy. He wrote a book called The Dirty Dozen, 12 Supreme Court cases that did the most harm and destruction to the Constitution and American freedom. He'll be there as well, just by lucky chance he'll be in town, he was available. So it's going to be pretty remarkable. We'll have a lot of fun. I know that flyer says dinner, Bill of Rights dinner. You do not get dinner at the Wrigley Mansion for $15. You don't. But they put out a lavish display of cheeses and crackers and stuff like that. So, now, I've got a little bit of a raffle. Ernie, you're not getting exactly what you wanted, but I'll do all the billboard stuff you want to hear. I've got a little raffle. I've got a whole bunch of books. There's about 8 in here. And I'm going to raffle them this way. I'm going to ask a question. I could use a hand. Jim, would you be willing to give me a hand? Oh, Powell's here. Powell, sure. You just hold this. First choice. Whoever gets the question right, and there's too many people. Freedom! Ernie gets first choice. Freedom's the answer. What's the question? Give Ernie first choice. Oh, he's going to look at them all. They're in a basic manual of knife fighting. Everybody needs that. Okay, I'll take that one. Blade Master, you bet. Straight shooting, America Fights Back, Assault on Weapons, Keeping Your Family Safe, The Economics of Freedom, the Journal of Firearms Policy. All right, you know, a little eclectic, but I'll tell you, you guys all may be whacked out weirdos, but you got more brain power in this room than almost any room I'm ever in. All right, so I'm going to do this with it, and I'll tell you, there's always more wisdom in the audience than at the podium, always. And we're going to tap that today when I tell you what's going on with billboards. So I'll ask a question, I'll take hands, because I'll never be able to tell who got it first. First question, what's the difference between President Obama and his dog, Bo?
Dog has...
Wait.
One's got...
Bo has papers! All right, that was an easy one. How many amendments in the Constitution?
27.
25.
26?
29.
21, and you lost. Right.
27.
27 it is. Who can tell me something about the 27th Amendment? How old is it?
Oh, I can do that.
About 200 years old.
18 years old.
About 200 years old.
200 years old. Give him a choice, okay?
Which one?
Michael Kilsky. The 27th Amendment was part of the Bill of Rights.
Which
the original set of amendments, the 12 articles, 1, 2, 3 through 12, 1 and 2 were not ratified. 3 became, Congress shall make no law respecting religion, speech, press, assembly, right to redress. Over here.
Oh, yeah?
The 27th Amendment used to be Article 1. And it was just passed 2 years ago. And now it's the 27th Amendment. It's the one that says Congress can't give themselves a raise until there's an election. So
Has it been ratified?
What's that?
Has it been ratified?
Hadn't been ratified. Correct. I stand corrected. All the articles became amendments. That was an editing job. It's actually one amendment to the Constitution with 10 articles. All right. Who wrote Catcher in the Rye?
Salinger.
Everybody yelled. I got to pick a hand. J.D. Salinger, she wins.
Man, my hand.
Let's see if we can get, I have a...
Yeah, why is that a question?
Because it came to mind and I couldn't remember a good one. I could do another like that if you like.
No, I'm just wondering if she, yeah, you just want to see who the assassins are or something?
Okay, let's ask the easy ones that the Goldwater Institute asked high school students, and 75% of the students couldn't answer. How many branches are there of government?
Oh my God.
Three.
Oh my God.
As many as they want.
What about the CIA? Does that count?
It's a good answer. I told you there's a lot of brain power in this room.
Federal Reserve.
How many justices on the Supreme Court?
9, 10,
Pick.
10,
You pick.
10.
Okay, she loses. It's 10. Go ahead.
The Solicitor General attends every meeting and conference meeting of the Supreme Court, known as the 10th Justice.
We'll give her a vote for that answer. But the Solicitor General does not attend the conference. Only the 9 justices, no staff, no clerks, nobody else. Well, that's what I got. I'll check that out. That's a good one. All right.
Why do you think the new justice has been picked?
This is part of a school class that you can bring into your schools from the National Center for Constitutional Studies. Which delegate to the Constitutional Convention took copious notes on everything that was said, were kept secret for 30 years, but were finally published by an act of Congress in 1843 and constitute the most authoritative record available of the convention. This is the kind of stuff the kids should be learning, isn't it? Anybody want to guess?
Anti-federalist.
James Madison?
James Madison it is! And the wrong choices are Gouverneur Morris, George Washington, and George Mason. Who was the chairman of the Committee of the Whole at the Constitutional Convention?
I think it's
George Washington.
George Washington, right over there, pal. Turn up your hearing aid. The delegates of the how many books you got left? One. The delegates to the Constitutional Convention believed that they had met to do what to the Articles of Confederation?
amend.
Weights and measures. Amend.
Who said amend? There it is. They got there to amend, not to abolish, not to adopt, not to ratify, to amend. And the states were not livid, but disappointed when they found out that their precious Articles of Confederation hadn't been changed. They had been dropped, rewritten. It was a power play to stop your freedom and have a constitution and a Bill of Rights.
Yes, it was.
Yes, ma'am.
What was the purpose of the Declaration of Independence?
Well, we ran out of books, so we're going to take that question next time.
I break with thee, I break with thee, I break with thee, and you throw dog poop on King George's shoes and you're free.
Okay, does that qualify? Somebody else have an answer to this question? We're having fun. Let's do this. What was the purpose of the Declaration of Independence? A decent respect for humanity requires us to declare why we're doing this.
The purpose was because the colonies did want to break. They had to have a statement of purpose to show that they weren't just thugs on the street.
Okay, so I won that one. I get my book.
Have you read it yet?
Have I read it? I'm reading the printed
It's a
version.
purpose statement.
If you ever make a book, if anybody ever, how many of you thought of making a book? Do you know that there's have you ever thought of making a book? Do you know there's an Arizona Book Publishing Association in the state? It's a great resource. They got editors, printers, publishers, other people like yourself who are struggling to figure it out. Big publishers, distributors, warehouse, you name it. If you need facilities, the Arizona Book Publishing Association, just Google it, you'll find it. It's an enormous resource. And here's a little trick for you. I got hundreds of these. When you print your book, assuming you print it yourself, have them send 2 copies to you overnight before the truck rolls. I got 7,000 books on skids. I want to know they're good before they get here. So they send me 2, which is why I have one now for 5 days, and the truck isn't here. Once I got them in with the wrong cover. Had I shipped them, I'd have a $1,000 shipping bill, and then I'd have to fight to send them back. This way I got them, I said, hey, that's not my cover. I said, what are you talking about? I said, look at the proofs.